Jartan always comes up. If I put M and I, it normally gives you Mikey. But for some reason, it went Mickey.
Mickey.
I will never forgive your computer or your phone for that.
Dude, it was 5 in the fucking morning. Come on.
What did my phone do?
Don't make excuses for that phone, Wayne.
Wait, I can't hear Wayne.
Why not?
Can't hear him?
No.
Try bouncing out and bouncing back in. Sometimes that happens. Alright, he's gone. Let's talk about it.
Okay. What are we gonna say?
Jesus, Sergeant.
Wow.
You gotta mute, homie.
Wait, just,
I know,
we
but we
discussed
don't like
this?
it.
Oh my! And he's gonna talk with a mouthful of.
Oh, that does my nutting.
That's it. Because I'm Wayne and I'm angry all the time.
Wow.
Really?
That's rich.
5?
Okay. Can you hear Wayne now?
Wayne, say something, please.
Wayne, don't be a cunt.
I fucking hate you, man. I totally bought into that too, dude. Okay, that was good.
Because I was looking, I'm like reading his lips. I'm like, that's not even words.
You do know that one of our favorite games is to mute Wayne and don't tell him about it.
Oh, God.
It's the fun part of our job.
All right. Are we ready to bring the thunder?
Bring the action.
Bring the action.
Sorry.
My delicious beverage.
Just had to get a hard flex in there. Oh.
Sweet swashroom. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the TheBinPodcast, episode fucking 80.
Wow.
Holy shit, they're starting to add up quickly here.
Yeah.
I'm Mikey Famine, or as I have been duly named, Childish Fambino, which is probably my favorite nickname I've ever had in my entire life, and I might keep it. But I'm also joined by his Lord Wanker of Essex, Wayne.
Hello.
Hello, Wayne. How are you, and what the fuck are you drinking?
Not 100%. I'll say I'm 60% operational. Scotty's been inside me and said he can't give me any more power, Captain. But
Scott from 5?
no.
He was inside you? He couldn't give you any more.
I just.
It was a Star Trek reference.
Oh, sure it was.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, Captain. I can't give him any more.
Was that what Scott said?
I'm drinking Shiraz, whatever.
Oh,
Whatever.
And our smartest, loveliest, and on-timest.
Oh.
That's on-timest host. Brenna, how are you? And what you drinking?
I'm doing okay. A little tired. So I almost coming up on 3 weeks is I stopped drinking coffee.
Where's the real Brenna?
Who is
so
this pod person?
I've been I've been sort of like I mean my supplement of caffeine has been from a mix of mostly various caffeinated teas and some other caffeinated this stuff called mud water, which is like a coffee alternative. It's actually not that bad.
It looks dreadful.
It does.
It looks like puddle water.
Well, hence they call it mud water.
It is grotesque looking. I was like, that is from outside.
But I got this really cool, like, because I got the starter kit. They gave me like one of those the frothers, so I got a cool new frother, and it's really awesome.
You got a starter kit to make mud water.
You know
Yeah.
how fucking funny it would be if it was actually mud. Like
It kind of tastes like dirt.
Yeah, they
I mean,
just
it's
sent you
mostly dirt.
They're like,
It's
yo,
most-
check out this mud water. It's a coffee alternative. No, it's mud water. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Brennan, you got to stop clicking on them links on Instagram.
I wanted to try it, and so far I've been I've been off of coffee, so which is great. My mood has been a lot better, and I've been able to sleep better. But I can't wait to get back on coffee though.
Stick it straight in the arm.
Yeah, just
She's eating beans. just chopping up just like
this espresso, right?
Yeah. That's what I like. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Next time we see
Oh,
Brenna, she
okay.
comes in here with like a coffee bean mustache.
There's like
Completely wired.
he's talking at 87,000 syllables a second. Just
We've got to put her on -+1.
Yeah.
I'm high as a kite. My teeth are green. Merry fucking Christmas.
I don't like cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
Make me go nuts.
And our favorite friend north of the wall, Gatan Run
That's close enough.
Vashera.
Well, not much. I'm drinking Airbra.
Abro?
Airbra.
A word?
You right, bro?
Oh, it is called Abro. It is called Abro. Oh shit! I thought you were saying something in like
No,
in Viking. No,
It's
called.
called- Airbra.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
That's what's up.
I thought you just didn't want to tell us. Like, yo, what are you drinking? Hey, bro, mind your business.
Airbra. Which is quite nice. Yeah, what's been up with me? I bought a new car. That went well.
Nice.
Great. Tell them what you traded in and tell them what you got.
Oh, Jesus.
So I had a BMW 320 diesel. And I bought a Chrysler 300C.
So we've all made. Me and Wayne have made our jokes, but I would like the Bin family to know now, in the tiers of who would play who in a Bin version of Top Gear. Dartan will forever be known as Richard Hammond. Forever. There is no way he's getting out of it.
No, so I bought a Chrysler 300C with a 5.7 liter Hemi. And I realized on my way home it doesn't have any mufflers.
I'm so glad you're still alive.
On the way home, realized it had no.
So it's
Fun.
quite but it doesn't sound that much when it's idling. But as soon as you give it a bit of gas, it's yeah. And because of that, it misfires quite a lot, which
Oh.
is fun for me, not so much for my neighbors.
Yeah, there goes that man who hasn't got a penis.
Yes. And I've named it my Hickmobile.
Nice.
He's in true Hammond fashion. He'll name the car eventually.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's got 20-inch chrome wheels.
Oh, Jesus. Big pimpin'.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be great when you put the snow tires on it. When you get a foot and a half of snow overnight.
Right.
Well, the snow tires only have 18-inch wheels.
Oh.
You could be looking like you're driving a lowrider.
Yeah, yeah. It's I am thoroughly nervous on this winter's driving. It's gonna be challenging because I don't know if you've ever driven a Chrysler, but the gearbox is not the best.
You bought a fucking Chrysler. You bought a Jeep sedan.
Hmm.
Yep. And it does not have a good gearbox.
Yeah, it's not only that, mate. They don't really concentrate on things like suspension and handling either.
But the AC is amazing, and it's got a touchscreen.
That's all that
AC
matters.
There we
AC is
go.
what you need in Sweden.
In the coldest place that's ever been. The AC
Dude,
works great.
We have 4 seasons, dude.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. They're just summer's really, really short.
Yeah, summer's a day.
Yeah, it was on the 22nd of August last year.
Ooh, coming up.
Yeah.
We're
And that-
still waiting. Fingers crossed, it might happen this year too.
And then
Winter
after that,
is
it's
coming.
hello, darkness, my old friend.
And now I need you to introduce him and leave me alone so I can go and have a quick shit. So I'll be.
Can
Oh
can
my
do.
God. Oh my
quality control.
God.
He's better than me because I'm taking y'all with me while I shit. Hold on.
It's all right, everyone.
Like, I'm
We'll,
not leaving this. No.
we'll edit this out in post. It's fine. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're
So,
good.
so Wayne will really understand this, and I think we should get him a shirt that says this. You've bought the wrong car.
100%. I'm gonna get that done. I'll get it from our merch man.
You bought the wrong car. I'm drinking rum and energy drink, but it's a
No, you
dragon
drink-
fruit, and it is
Ooh.
very magnifique.
Is dragon fruit a real thing?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
they.
but Mikey's not drinking that. Mikey's drinking John Cena juice.
For all of our audio listeners, I have a very green cup and I have a very green screen, so my cup disappears. I'm in the bat cave
Yeah.
actually. Oh, real quick, before we introduce the guest, did everyone see Suicide Squad?
Not yet.
Yes.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah,
The Suicide
Yeah, I
Squad.
loved it.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was
Great.
really funny, and John Cena was really great in it. That's the only.
Yeah.
Well, since
Yeah.
Wayne hasn't seen it, I won't divulge.
Don't spoil it for me. But does this mean?
Oh my god, let's talk about that ending
Oh
real
my
quick.
God, when
Can
the
you
first-
believe?
Can you believe that the Suicide Squad was the
No,
Suicide Squad?
I'm just gonna kick our guest out.
I could not believe when Homelander showed up with Captain Planet and they had an epic battle against the Megatron.
Look.
Megatron.
Cheeto, best Captain Planet ever.
Don Cheadle.
Oh
Tree,
mate,
tree,
yeah, I remember
tree,
that.
Tree.
Don't stop me again
Um,
unless you're ready for that pain.
From what you're saying with Suicide Squad, did DC make another good film apart from The Dark Knight?
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I mean, the Dark Knight wasn't really DC driven. It was more like one of those like Dark Horse comics kind of things.
No, but what I'm saying is character based, because like
Yeah, it was really
you think
good.
of all the Marvel films are like
and
some of them are shocking.
you're,
Like you remember the first Hulk?
oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. He was like his size would change ridiculous. Like he was running along the Grand Canyon, and then he was like squeezing into like a taxi, and I was like, "Now wait a minute, are you 40 feet tall or 8 feet tall? Like what is happening right now?" These two different
Mike,
things.
Is that how angry he gets?
Mikey, I think you'll find that is a process called mass shifting, which they do in most movies.
Well, actually, if you look at the physics of the quantum fluctuations in the gamma rays that turn him into the Hulk.
Oh, hey, what's up, Kay? Kay's in the chat. Kay says Birds of Prey was good. I need to watch the first one, and I need to watch Birds of Prey. I definitely want to check that. I didn't really like Harley Quinn because the fans of Harley Quinn were so annoying. but I loved her in the Suicide Squad. It was really good.
Mm.
But let me move this,
Right.
brother. Let
There we go.
me tell y'all a little tale about our guest today. This is my motherfucking homie, my brother from another mother, my man who keeps me grounded to earth, who is not shy about telling me to go fuck myself and that I'm wrong,
Oh, we're not
But-
the only ones then.
but will also
We're
lend
not alone.
but will also lend me an ear when I need it. He is we have a Ken and Ryu relationship in our gaming life, and we will be bestest buds until the end of days. I welcome all of you, one and all, to my homie extraordinaire, the Snipe, KP. What up, KP?
Hi, Mom. Can she see me?
If she's got Twitch.
What's up, everybody? Thank you
Or
guys. for having me.
OnlyFans.
Thank you. It's good to be here. You leave my mom's OnlyFans out of this. That was put me through college, sir. How dare you?
KP, you don't have to like dox yourself, but if you want to give people like a little rundown about, because we're going to be talking about Afghanistan today, like anything some people might want to know about you and why they should value your opinion today.
Yes. You know how YouTube gives those black things to like people that create so much content and stuff?
Yes.
So Pornhub sent me one of those for watching every one of their videos 100 times. Not to brag, I'm kind of a big deal. No.
Show us some furry
I,
palms.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, I've been to prison.
Oh, that was very
Yeah,
nice.
I've been to prison. What was the question?
What was the question?
Not really. What was the question?
Every
Um,
week.
You are a veteran. Is that correct?
Yes.
So maybe you don't have to go into too much detail because I know a lot of that is G14 classified. But if you could just give people a little rundown about what you did over there, like what was your job and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, cool. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan with 7th and 10th Special Forces Group. I did psychological operations, which was cool because I actually got to do some good and help people every now and then. And I liked the opportunity to see how other people in the world lived. Made a lot of good friends, which is kind of why I'm really not so happy with the current situation there. So.
Exactly, which is why I reached out and I was like, I got to get my homie over here because look at my man. That's right. Hey, drinks that wine. That's a Capri.
Yeah, she was like offering. She was in the corner, like trying to pour a cup, and I'm like, "No, the bottle."
Yeah, just get the whole thing.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
I didn't need a straw in that bit. Just crazy.
Pinky
straw.
up.
Yeah, got a little sip. Got a little sip and say, yes, I'll take the bottle.
I literally finished my whiskey yesterday, and I'm so pissed. I wish I would have saved it for this.
She pours a glass of it. And oh, thank you so much. Grab the whole bottle, the rest of the bottle out of her hand. Perfect.
Someone cuts a piece of cake for you. You just take the rest of the cake from it.
Perfect. So yes, Jonathan, I know you didn't want to divulge too much, but you also spent some time over in Afghanistan?
Yep.
Okay. So for everyone listening or watching right now, we're going to do our best to come from an informed perspective on all this, as opposed to me, Wayne, and Brenna talking about Afghanistan like we fucking been there, like we fucking know anything, right? Like we want to actually interact with people who know more than us, which is kind of the hallmark of the show, right? Where we always pick a topic that's way beyond our depth, and we find an expert to tell us what actually happened and what's the truth of the matter, as opposed to us to be like, no man, I saw a link that there is life on Mars. Oh yeah, well no, then we call Landon and it tells us that that's physically impossible. So let's move on. So we've done what we. Jartan, you want to kick us off with a bit of a history.
Well, not as much as a lesson, more of a topic of discussion that I want to put out there, because we all know what happened in Vietnam, and how when the war couldn't be won, when there they s- there was a peace agreement that the U.S. signed, and then they just fucked off out of there and took their coalition forces with them, which is very much the same thing that is happening now. They signed a sort of a peace agreement with the Taliban, which said that they were going to pull out by a certain date. I don't have that date in my head. They pulled out, and the Taliban just, walked in, and we're back to 2001 again, basically. Like nothing ever happened. There was it's the longest ongoing. It was the longest war ever fought by American forces, and it's over, and we're right back at the finish line, which is basically what happened in Vietnam.
Yeah. For people who may be uninitiated,
I just have to close the fridge. Sorry.
Mikey, don't make any jokes about my fridge.
damn it, damn it. My next sentence. But for people who don't know about Vietnam, would anybody like to give like a quick? That's a tough ask, but a quick primer on how and what and how messy Vietnam was for U.S. and
We could always ask Donald Trump to give us a. Oh,
yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Bones
Oh
first.
damn.
we could
Bones
always
first.
ask Joe Biden. Oh.
Funny that.
But he has a
Oh,
valid excuse.
Did he have?
Nope.
Do you want to do a quick primer on Vietnam, Jartan, of why it's similar and things like that? Because I think we say Vietnam, but a lot of our
All right.
listeners are like 28, so they may or may
Right.
not have gotten all that.
Yeah, like me.
Shut up, Wayne.
Give me a second. I did have. There you go.
There what go? There you go.
Who is it?
So I was made aware of this after Vietnam vet went on WBTV and said that there are, for many watching the troubling imaging of Afghanistan, there's a disturbing sense of deja vu. Veterans of the Vietnam War remember the fall of Saigon in 1975 and note just how similar many of the images are. So, and I'm trying to find this other article.
Should we play some lift music?
Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, I got it. It's an article in PolitiFact by John Greenberg and Louis Jacobson, posted on August 17. The parallels between the final hours of two wars had dragged on for years at huge cost and great loss of life struck many observers. And the two wars emerged from different geopolitical contexts, even if their ends were similar. So there are differences in how the conflict started, but the end is very much the same. The recent collapse of the American-backed Afghan army and government took about, I don't know, like 1 or 2 weeks from the start of the Taliban attacks. But it took longer in Vietnam. I think it was like 18 months or something. In Vietnam, do you know the background of the Vietnam conflict? Should I start there, maybe?
That's what the question
All
I
right,
was
all right.
asking you to do.
So, all right, sorry. The start of the Vietnam conflict was basically two ships that claimed to be attacked by Vietnamese forces in
Gulf of
the
Tonkin.
the South China Sea. Uh, there are still this discussion: did this happen, or was it just uh, aroused to fight communism on the far side of the earth?
Just to jump in there, Jartan, it was declassified, and it was actually the Gulf of Tonkin incident was instigated by Americans to
Oh, really? All right.
yeah.
I didn't know that. The beginning of the end of the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War. Well, the Vietnam War was basically America fighting communism for control of the South China Sea because they did not want communist China and Russia to take control of that area. That would all Cambodia was lost already. China was lost already, so they did not want further areas to fall into communism. It was a political war. It was not. It was a geopolitical war. It was not economical war, which I would call Iraq. Both the first and second Iraq war are more of a economical war, fight over oil and such. But the end of it started with the Pentagon Papers, which, if you don't like to read news articles, you can watch the movie The Post with Tom Hanks and I think Meryl Streep, right? Which kind of depicts it quite accurately. How the war was fought for many years without actually having any hope of winning the war. And the US knew that, but the loss of prestige was more important than actually finishing the war. Nobody wanted to be the president. They said, let's have the Vietnamese figure this out and maybe succumb to communism.
So where do the similarities lie within the two
Yeah,
respective conflicts?
So during the Vietnam War, Vietnam was secluded into two countries, South and North Vietnam. Americans fought with the South, right? Yeah. And they trained the South Vietnamese military. After they left the country, it was deemed that the Vietnamese could fight for their own, and there was no real need for a big American military presence in the country anymore. And within a short period of time, not as short as what happened to Afghanistan, I think it was like a year or 18 months, the South Vietnamese army military was totally overrun, and they lost. And thereof the helicopters that lifted in Saigon back in 1975 with people fleeing for their lives from embassies and all that kind of stuff, which is very similar to what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Where the people who fought alongside American soldiers during the Vietnam War was left to fend for themselves and could not get help to get out of the country or even seek asylum in the countries that they helped during the conflict.
Which is ringing true with what's going on in Afghanistan now.
Which are the similarities that I was talking about. The similarities, Afghanistan was not a geopolitical war in the same sense as
it was more an ideological war in the sense of they're trying to stop communism, whereas the Afghanistan conflict is more about, let's face it, it is clandestinely about resources and whatnot, and trying to get one over on the Russians because they couldn't take it over back in the day. But KP, what was your experience of it? Obviously, without breaking any confidentiality laws or whatever. What was your experience of it being there?
I mean, I don't understand the question fully. My experience just altogether, kind of, or
Yeah, I mean, like obviously going there as a serving soldier, how was
Yeah.
it in general? I'm just trying to get an overview of how it was.
A lot of things kind of bothered me, but I understand it's their culture and it's not our place to kind of impose our ideals on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it depends where you are. In bigger cities, it's very similar to here. You'll see girls walking down the street in like booty jeans and stuff. But then out in the country, no, literally, like, and it's funny. You'll see FUBU, and you forgot what FUBU was since the '90s, and you're like, "Damn, girl! Oh, that's the FUBU
That's the
jean booty."
the baby blue FUBU.
But like in other parts of the country, like especially in the sticks and stuff, like sexual assault is just acceptable. There's a lot of things that kind of upset me about the way they do things. Not that we're fucking doing shit right here by any mean, but it just seemed kind of like medieval almost. A lot of things, you know, like women are treated as property and stuff, and just a lot of things I kind of disagreed with. But it was kind of nice to see the way they lived in a lot of respects too. It made me absolutely grateful for a lot of things I didn't even think twice about. Like I'm never a foot away from cold water now, ever. Like it's my favorite thing in the world. But it was my first deployment, and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to come back to that and think about it. Actually, I probably should have had an answer for that prepared in advance, but yeah,
and it's
I don't know.
This is a very relaxed and casual conversation. Like I know, like our subject is a bit heavy, but we'll find some ways.
Yeah.
As far as the like stateside response, I think a lot of the parallels that kind of like reflect Vietnam and the Afghanistan occupation, it kind of rings true. I just for me, I just really hope we don't soldiers coming back from Afghanistan the same way we guys coming back from Vietnam.
Yeah, that's. I think as a Brit, I recognise the same thing over here. We hold our military in such high regard, but when it comes to the aftercare, when people are coming back and they've got PTSD and all that sort of shit, yeah, you're all right. You can go on the streets if you like, son. It don't matter.
That's how they do it here too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The similarities are very sort of like noticeable, and like the majority. I say the majority. Quite a few people who are on the streets in London are ex-army, and yet we have this all this pageantry to go with military, and you know, look at the Queen and she does the trooping of the colours and all this bollocks, and we sit there and salute these soldiers, but when they go out and do their bit and then they come back, we're like, no, thanks for that. See you later. And again, the hypocrisy of it all. Just winds me up.
I also have to be very clear about one thing. I do think that the masculine culture of armed forces will contribute quite a bit to people who has served, not seeking help, trying to fight it out.
Yeah.
That information is not given in forehand to these people on what might happen and what they should do, and that it's okay, and normalizing actually seeking help after the fact. I think that the masculine culture within armed forces also does have to. It's not only societal; it's also internal within the armed forces.
Would you not put that under the banner of another form of toxic masculinity, because it's not helpful?
I don't like the term toxic masculinity because I think it's been abused quite a lot. It means so many things that it doesn't really mean anything anymore. There is, of course, toxic masculinity. I would just say that these no, this is not a part of that. Not what I put into the
No,
term
no,
toxic masculinity.
but what I'm saying is it's masculinity stopping people from getting help by being so restrictive. That's what I mean by toxic
I
masculinity.
think the, hold on. I think the toxic part that Wayne's talking about is like you're a pussy if you need to go to a therapist.
Yeah.
You're a pussy if you need to ask for help. Like that part of it.
A pussy's quite a lot tougher than a dick, anyways. But
they take a pounding.
They can.
Takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
And they can take a stretch as well. But the thing that I'm but the thing that I'm trying to get at is that yes, I use the term masculinity, but this is about culture within the armed forces. I did not have a better term to use than masculinity because not seeking help is an inherently masculine thing. Like I could do it myself. I will not seek a doctor until my fucking head is almost falling off because I'm a man. But I do think
that's why I use the term toxic with regard to that.
But even women who are within the armed forces suffer from this cultural defeat within the armed forces of not seeking help because we're big, we're tough, we're strong, and we've served and we served our country and we served it proudly. We went into the most dangerous areas of the world and we came out stronger, but sometimes we don't.
KP, is it something you recognize?
I think it's something that definitely originated as a more masculine general population, like of the OG kind of U.S. military at least, was primarily men. But I think it's more a mindset now than anything. I don't think it's necessarily like a man masculinity thing as much as it is like just a mindset the military
so that's why it
instills on you.
And that was the reason I didn't want to call it toxic masculinity. It was maybe wrong of me to use the masculine, but because it's, as KP also said, it's a masculine thing inherently. And, armed forces used to be mostly men. It's not that long ago we started letting women actually serve in
and on the front line.
Combat jobs now.
Say again?
Which is huge. Since I've gotten out of the military in the U.S., women can go into combat MOSs now. When I was in, that wasn't a thing. So like, women can go into ranger battalions and shit. Like they can do any job that men can pretty much now. In the 70s, a female reporter, went through the qualification course for special forces, and she made it. And I don't know why it wasn't an eye-opener then that, like, dude, women can do this job, and they can get greater rapport, get you better intel, roll up way more bad guys, because everyone likes women. No one trusts men. No one likes men generally, especially strangers. No, it's true. As far as you know somebody.
No, I'm just.
Dudes love women, and women trust women. It is what it is.
Yeah.
If we put them in these jobs, we'd be rolling twice the bad guys.
I have an article that I'll read later, but it's basically the reason why they have these all women teams over there is because when you're talking to the girls and the women and the kids, you can't have a bunch of men doing that. They can't talk to them, they can't help them out, so they have to have the women there in order to communicate with the other women in Afghanistan.
Which also goes both ways because a lot of men over there will refuse to talk to a woman, which basically means that So, but yeah, I think that I think it's systemic failure within the armed forces. I know that it is over here. Me and KP, we've talked about this before. It's a systemic failure to not
talk without me.
No, you were there, dude.
Oh.
But
you just had your mouth full at the time.
Yep.
I
think you were watching something called The Deviants or something.
Hang on, how far in are we?
Far enough.
Yeah. So anyways, the fact that we don't inform, that we don't give help, and we don't do preemptive work before sending soldiers abroad on what might happen and what to do if things happen, and then follow up on it, is a systemic failure. And it should really be looked at, because we used to call it shell shock back in the First World War, right? Then we had combat scares, and then we had it was called all kinds of things. I can't really remember all the different terms right now, but you had like what was it, like grenade blindness or
No,
whatever.
I remember
now
after the First World War, they used to shoot people for showing signs of PTSD. They would just be like, "You haven't got a mental health issue. You're just mental. We'll just shoot you."
Yeah, or you're a deserter, or you're a coward, or whatever. But here's the deal: it's not a new thing. It's been found in every war fought by man since the beginning of man. So, like, maybe. Oh, Jesus Christ! All right. It's just, let's do so. It's about fucking time we do something about it. It's just that we make sure that it's well taken care of. It's an actual diagnosis now. We know that things happen in your brain.
And to be quite honest, when I hear like, oh, the military budget's going up this, like, okay, how much is going to vets? How much like decommission one of your fucking your subs, save $1 billion and put the people up that need to put up. Get them the healthcare that they need. Don't make them wait fucking years and years to get fucking treatment for it. That's fucking bullshit. Like, why the fuck am I giving you money for fucking $3 trillion fucking rockets when you're not taking care of the fucking veterans that you've already made? Right?
I know why. Because there's going to be, if you all of a sudden start educating psychologists and therapists that actually are on the ground and informing the troops before they go, and they're on the ground when the troops are deployed, and they're following up on this stuff. People are going like, oh, we can't have pussies going into war. All these man ladies. Look at the millennials. Blah 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 blah. But fucking hell, PTSD, for fuck's sake, has been around for tens and thousands of years, since the beginning of humans. It's not a new thing, but all of a sudden, if you have some mental health care professional there to take care of it, then you're a pussy.
Fucking ridiculous.
Which is fucking ridiculous. We shouldn't spend money on. No, it's a lot better that we have, vets running around shooting themselves and their families. That's a lot better than actually paying for a fucking therapist.
Well, it comes back to that you can see like the physical disabilities, you can see that, and then you can sympathize with that, right? You can empathize with somebody losing their leg or their arm. But when it comes to like a mental health issue, we can't see that. So it's more like, well, you're faking it, or you just drink too much, or you're just angry all the time.
Yeah, blow the smoke out of your lungs. Try again.
Yeah.
Oh.
So KP, this is new for you. So Zartan has recently quit smoking, so he's decided to start vaping. But he hasn't figured out that you shouldn't take a full hit off of your vape. Don't you do it right now. Don't you do it right now. He's about to do it right now.
Don't do it.
And then he takes a full fucking hit, and then he starts fucking talking with a lung full of vape. And
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
No, that's fine.
It's like
It's when you smoke weed with a motherfucker.
Zartan loves
That's
smoking
fine.
weed.
When someone's smoking weed holding a joint forever, though, that's a problem. They're like, so there it was. And then it's down to a roach. You even hit it yet? Like, my man, can you talk without the blow? Just pass that shit. Just pass it, then talk.
Zartan
No,
loves
no,
blood.
Zartan, I support it. I support it.
I take exception to all indications, or marijuana is illegal, very illegal, and I would never do anything illegal, especially not drugs.
Absolutely not. No.
And
no.
and if you have some, you should absolutely not mail anything to me.
You'll dispose of it
Absolutely not.
correctly, right?
I have some
Yeah.
cornbread with your name on it, by the way. Very special.
I do not know what you're talking about, but please send it to please send it to me. No, don't send it to me. My address is not being posted in private chat as we speak.
You know, if
123 Sesame Street, right?
if you do find any marijuana, by all means, send it to Jartan. He will burn it, get rid of it. He will destroy
Yes.
it for you.
That's what they do there. They're environmentally friendly.
You can't have that just growing around. You got to burn that shit to get rid of it.
No,
Yeah,
it's got
It grows like weeds.
I actually called the local police and said that I started a marijuana disposal company and asked them if they needed any help.
Start handing out cards.
Yeah.
Just
Just bring them by. Just bring them by.
Jartan's back at Jartan's house. He's got a massive chimney, and he just sits on there.
There's a tube coming from.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of hoses coming up of it.
You were not supposed to tell anybody about that.
I'll send you the blueprints.
You told me I had client confidentiality. What the fuck?
Joke's on you. I lied about being a lawyer.
You didn't check my credentials. That's on you.
All right. But getting back to what we talked about, I really have to say, Sweden, this messed up fucking country that I live in, who fucked up Corona, now has said that they will not actively go in to extract the people that aided as, interpreters or whatever, Swedish forces as they were serving in Afghanistan. They will not actively go in there and get them. They will not.
At least you're honest about it. We've been promising everyone that's helped us, and they literally just keep getting turned down every day.
Yeah, but what the fucking nerve of these
Yeah.
people saying that we will not.
We're leaving them to die after 21 years of helping us.
No, they have to. No, they have to go through a regular asylum process.
Oh, so a
They-
year and a half?
They have to
Yes.
prove that they're in danger in their home country. So the
Yeah.
Taliban's back in power now, right? These people have helped Swedish forces fight the Taliban for 10 years, but they have to prove that they're in danger. Are you
Yeah.
fucking serious right now?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
I think what is it
What?
for an emergency visa here? A year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
to
I'm
apply
saying
for the
if-
regular. There's no special circumstances. And not only that, like I'd love to have those people here, but like as long as we take them anywhere that would take them, we're not even doing that.
Mm.
We're just like,
And,
I'm head out.
And if
Like we're not even
If
like
I'm-
like bringing the bus to pick them up and dropping them off. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nope.
if we
Bring an
Yeah.
aircraft carrier, get them out of there until they
Right.
are legal or whatever our process is.
yeah,
Right.
Something.
right.
because the
Or
thing is,
see
if,
that
if
shit
Americans
there.
if Americans' asylum process is anything like the DMV, they're fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to mid-roll and then let's continue on this topic when we come back.
Back from word, our sponsor. And our sponsor today is Brenna.
Casa Largo wine. Trying to get drunk? This shit'll do it right here.
This
Credit
Blood
card.
Water,
You got
the
it.
alternative. The
Also
alternative
sponsored by
product.
Chrysler. Please call me on your spare parts.
As we like to call them, Scheisler.
And T-Mobile. Do you want to pay but not hear anything on your phone? T-Mobile. for you.
Oh, this is great.
This episode of the Ben Podcast brought to you by Manscaped.
I did that today for the first time ever and with Corona weight. Woo! I felt like Nutty Professor. I was like, my dick! My dick! I can see my dick!
He's over there like Buddy Love.
Dude, I'm
It's like Captain Caveman down there.
Oh my god.
I don't.
All right, go ahead,
little
Brenna.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, help. As you guys are listening or watching this, make sure that you go to our patreon.com/TheBinPodcast, become one of our patrons. $1 a month can help us. $5 a month can help us. $100 a month can help us. Whatever you can, whatever's in your wallet.
Give us your OnlyFans money.
Yeah,
Before it
I mean,
dries up.
obviously, none of us can do OnlyFans anymore.
Why is that? Why is that, Brenna? We talked about it before the show. We didn't talk about it on
Yeah, sorry. Apparently, OnlyFans will not allow any pornographic videos and such on their site anymore. You can do nudes, but you cannot do porn. So we're all out of it now. So
that was our
plans dashed.
So their revenue stream is not the only thing that's going to dry up.
Ooh.
How did Ben Shapiro get in here? Get out of here, Ben. Take your wife with you.
Don't tell me. It's good.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Take her and her smoked clam out of here.
We'll give you the OnlyFans site soon. When we have to change things up.
In October, you're not going to be able to buy porn on OnlyFans. You're going to have to do something with those dollars.
Get it for free, right? Anyway, that's one of those ways that you can financially help us out. If you cannot financially help us out, you can still help us out by doing a few things. First, go to our YouTube at TheBinPodcast and subscribe, like, share, comment, get other people to do all those things. We can defeat the algorithm. And make sure you get that little bell thing so that you remember when we do our what was it, like a rerun on it, our rerun on Fridays on YouTube, because for the live, we are going to continue doing just on our Twitch TV/TheBinPodcast. So live will be on Twitch. The rerun the next day will be on YouTube, and of course our audio listeners, the same day as our YouTube is released, we will have the audio version only. So hello for all those audio listeners out there.
We're broadcasting from the future.
We're
on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple
your
Podcasts.
wonderful podcast catchers that you enjoy. Please look for us, the Bin Podcast. We have a little recycle bin as our little icon, so it's not hard to miss us. But
thanks, Theo. It looks great.
It's pretty. I like it. Anyway. So you have patreon.com/TheBinPodcast. You have YouTube. You can have Twitch, and please help us out. We'd love for you to become one of our patrons.
Join the fam, the Bin fam.
Back to the studio.
On that bombshell.
And we're back.
Meanwhile, Jartan eats some gruel.
How hard
Previously
can
on
it be?
Jartan Eats Rule.
Jartan having crashes a snowmobile.
How hard can that be?
Well, could be worse.
Mickey Famine does some podcasting.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. So this whole Mickey thing. So on Dig on America that I do on Wednesday nights, go sub to them as well. Us as well. Brandon shows up in the chat because it's like fucking butt crack in the morning and he's getting ready for work. He throws on the podcast while he's, grooming his beard or waxing his nipples. I don't know what he does that early. But he hops into the chat and
You got me.
fucking calls me Mickey Famine. Who the fuck is Mickey Famine? Not me. Not me. Not who I am. And of course, fucking Tons of Mice catches wind of it, and I'm Mickey for the rest of the fucking night because of fucking Wayne and his fat thumbs.
I told you, I misspelled so many things. I was just like, just sent them off. And I sent the same
That's
thing
what I do.
twice.
I just type and hope autocorrect does something. I'm like,
Help me out.
You know what I mean? Fucking, I ain't correcting it.
So I have to fucking deal with this for another fucking week, I guess.
Yeah. Blame the South Koreans.
A week? You think so?
Oh, I got something for you, boy. Sorry about that. Wait till we. There. So we're done with the vid roll. Please support us. Today, well, as of this week, Biden and our armed forces have decided to pull out of Afghanistan. So to bring everything else that we've been speaking on ahead, thoughts and opinions and ideas about it. I'm in a weird spot because I don't like us occupying other. Don't like. I'm not a fan of us sending our best and brightest, our young men. I don't like them going. But if they're gonna go, if it's gonna be a thing, and we're going to fill people with this false hope that we have your back, don't worry about it, then there's a flick of a pen, everybody's gone. I don't like what that does to the people that we left. Because when the Uyghurs were left behind, we were all in a tizzy and we were all pissed off about it. Now that the Afghanistan forces have been left to their own devices, it took them 24 hours to be overrun. I don't know that we've done this properly. I really, my heart really goes out because if it weren't for KP, I'd probably be like, yeah, fuck them. But KP has told me, share with you.
No, it's okay. I'm on the fuck 'em train with you.
Fuck the people in Afghanistan?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
That rushed us out of there without a plan.
No, that's what I was saying. I was like you told me, like I had a totally.
You have the freedom to choose to support the troops or not. I support your opinion either way because I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, man. But it was more like I had a really backwards ass fucking way of thinking about things until I talked to you, right? And now it's just like, oh well, those are real fucking people, and like those are people who risked a lot to help, and this is not exactly the fucking comeuppance they deserve. Like they didn't sign up for this. They asked for help. We rendered help, and then before they were almost helped, he left. Wayne, Dr. and Brenna, and then KP, you can wrap us up on it.
Yeah, I think that for starters, yes, we can agree or disagree on if USA and NATO and the UN and all of these peacekeeping forces should have been there in the first place. That's a different discussion. Right. They were there, so what are we doing now? How do we get this to a close after bombing the fuck out of this country for 20 fucking years? How do we make sure that the people that we said that we were going to help actually are helped by 20 years of conflict, of war? How do we do that? I don't know. I'm really glad I'm not one of those people who had to take that choice, but I can certainly say this was the wrong way to do that. There needed to be a plan. There needed to be security for those who fought, sheltered, and help and just gave support even by not fighting against the American forces, because the Taliban will go after these people as well. The people who were non-combatants, who didn't actually help, they were just there. They would be what we called during the Second World War, when Norway was occupied. They would be called, collaborators, or they would be called, sympathizers to Nazi Germany. This is the exact same rhetoric that the Taliban will use against the people who sympathized or helped or in any way had affiliation with the American and coalition forces. So these people have been in a war for 20 years. Even if they haven't been combatants, their entire lives have been affected by this. Yeah, there are people who are in their actual 20s now that has seen nothing but war.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a goddamn fucking responsibility when we take that choice and go into that country to make sure that these people see something but war. And especially that they don't get killed for choices that they did not make, for choices that parents or somebody else made for them, or just because they, learned how to read during the last 20 years, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, this was a wrong way of doing it. I understand that it was about time to get the fuck out of there. But yeah.
Wayne?
Bren, I was going to say Brenna because she's muted her mic. So, Brenna, do you want to go?
Well, so I know nothing about, the Middle East. I know nothing about geopolitics. I know nothing about military politics. So it's hard for me to have an opinion or anything. I agree with Jartan. Like, it's done. It happened, and we do need to just go in. We need to do whatever we can, and not being able to give refugees that are scared for their lives, to shelter and to keep them safe, and because we're gonna see women and girls and kids, and they're going to need a place where they can be safe, because right now they're probably in one of the worst positions they could ever be in. I mean, subjugation, death. um Girls aren't going to be able to get educated, women are going to be treated as property. Like, it's going to get worse and worse. And whether I can't blame anybody, because I don't know so much about it, and it's just that's my ignorance about it. But it's going to be a shit show, and we're going to have to deal with it, and we're going to have to find a way to deal with it.
Wayne?
Yeah, I have a very sort of cursory understanding of what's gone on over there. The thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that when Obama wanted to pull the troops out, the right kicked off and said, "Oh no, we need to stay there." Then Trump run on a ticket of getting everyone out there as soon as possible, and everyone on the right was like, "Yeah, get everyone out. Yeah, we need to do that." And then Biden did that, and now everyone on the right is kicking off about it again, saying, "Oh, we're doing the wrong thing." So no one really knows what's the right thing to do. And what's really frustrating is this whole war started after the most horrific terrorist attack on America, and we've been, I say we as in the United States, America, France, and a few sort of like NATO forces as peacekeepers, and now we're just not pulling out, leaving them to fend for themselves, and we're not cleaning up our mess. We've made a mess. We have made a huge mess, and the thing, like, when you see people clinging onto planes, trying to evacuate a country because you can't get on the plane, surely people have got to go, "Do you know what? We're not done here. We need to fix this, and we need to have a plan to tidy up. You just can't just go, fuck it, I'm done." It's not right. It's not right. And this is just my opinion. I've not served in any armed forces. I do not have any knowledge of being in an armed force or anything like that. So that's why I bow to you,
Thank God.
Jartan and KP's superior knowledge as to what's going on there. But I don't know how we fix this. What do we do? Do we just leave? Go on, sorry, Jartan. Go on.
Yeah, no. Calling it superior knowledge is something that I really do object to. Yes, I have very anecdotal, personal experiences, but my understanding of such a conflict is no more broadened by my service than it is uh, by anyone else. My opinion does not count more than anyone else's just because
Okay.
I have personal and anecdotal experiences.
Okay,
That is
okay.
my
Yeah,
personal opinion about that.
that's a fair criticism. What I'm saying to you is that I'm submitting to you the fact that you were there and you've done stuff that I haven't. So if you tell me something's happened out there, I'm taking your word for it over the geezer down the pub.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
And I think that's kind of something that a lot of non-service people have to do because we don't want to speak out of turn. We don't want to be well, I read a book and I know that the right thing to do is X, Y, and Z, and then you and KP are literally deployed, and I'm just like, oh fucking, I'm the guy standing there with shit in his hand, thinking that he knows what he's talking about on a subject. So we defer to you guys because it would be an obvious avenue to take to seek more information as opposed to let me just read something from no, let me talk to somebody that I know that's actually been KP, your thoughts?
Just one thing on what you said before you go ahead, KP. I'll let you go.
No,
It's
you're
just just being there is again, it's anecdotal and personal evidence. You cannot speak to my or KP's specific experience or what we experienced or what we did. Of course, you can't. Nobody else can. Only he can or I can. Because it's personal and it's anecdotal. When it comes to talking about a conflict in a broader perspective, then I was there and I did these things. My perspective on that greater conflict is not enhanced just because I had boots on the ground. I don't believe that it did.
Okay. So who knows more about Sweden, Wayne or you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't know nothing about Sweden if I hadn't read about Sweden.
Okay. Who knows more about Norway, Wayne or you?
I wouldn't know piss shit about Norway if I didn't read about Norway.
You
If
also
Wayne,
fucking live there, man. Like, come on, you see
yeah,
where, you see where I'm
yeah,
taking here.
no, but this is where we differ, right? So my experience of living in Norway is one thing, but I know a lot of things about Norway because I lived in Norway and I read newspapers and I got informed by people around me who also talked about this. I got informed by
That
people
right
around
there. That right there.
people
You were informed by
people.
people and you talked to them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you read the same books about Norway as I did, or went to the same school and got the same education as I did about Norway, even if you never lived there, you would have the same basic understanding of how Norway, Sweden worked, even if you could not refer to it in an anecdotal and personal way.
And not to say that you guys are the two Bibles that are gonna bookend the show. Like not everything that you guys say is gospel, but it definitely comes from a definitely more nuanced and a more experienced point of view than what I can gather from Twitter, what I can gather from Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing someone who's actually been to a place is different than reading about the place. Because motherfuckers can read all they want about St. Louis, but I can tell you all the spots. You know what I'm saying? Like I can give you that individual knowledge that or that may or may not be.
Yeah, to back Mikey up on this, like
What?
you can give us chapter and verse on your experience, and that will give us a more visceral understanding of what happened with you. We can also supplement that with reading up on other stuff, but bringing that all together gives us a more rounded experience and knowledge base. Yeah. So I know what you're saying. It is anecdotal, but you're filling in pieces of the puzzle that we don't have.
Absolutely. What I'm saying is that do not think that your opinion does not matter because you had to be there, or you had to serve, or you had to actually have boots on the ground. Yes, talking to people who have been there and have personal experiences, of course, that's important. But that does not say that you don't have a voice in it. And
I totally understand your
felt
point.
like you were sort of diminishing your own opinions by
No.
sort of apologizing for having an opinion because you didn't serve. Like
No,
the way that I see it is that you're as entitled as anyone else to have an
I
opinion
think
about it.
I think you've really misunderstood where I was coming from. I was basically saying, look, you know more about me on this particular subject, so I'm gonna submit to your greater knowledge, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put that into my cauldron of knowledge of other stuff where I've got information from other places and other sources, and I'm gonna add that and build my cake of knowledge based on what you're saying to me and what KP is saying to me, because the more knowledge you have, the better informed you are. So yes, it is anecdotal, but at the same time, you're giving me your objective opinion, right? I trust you. I know who you are, and KP, I'm sure, is not going to steer me astray from his opinion. So if I take that into all the other accumulated knowledge that I have, I'm going to have a more rounded and well-educated opinion of what's going on over there. I'm not saying that I know nothing. I'm saying I don't know. That's it. That's why I'm relying on you. Does that make sense? Is that a fair analysis?
It seems fair to me. Because I mean, what that's kind of like we were talking about earlier. That's kind of the crux of the show, right? We find experts on that we're not experts. Have them on to talk about X, Y, all these different topics.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean like Professor Howell. That doesn't mean that I'm just a blithering idiot and I don't know how chemistry works. But if there's a chemistry question, I'll probably defer it over to him and on it. Say like, I thought this. Is this right? Like, it's nice to have someone who might have more experience and knowledge on a topic help you out. Give me a mic check there, home Bizzle.
Mike, my mic sounds nice. Check one.
I think Mickey asked for a mic check.
But KP, do you want to do any closing thoughts on that?
Sure. And I wasn't leaving. I'm doing this on my phone, and I missed a call, and then I couldn't hear anything, so I wanted to hear you guys.
What?
Why?
But no, Wayne, you brought up the people hanging on to the plane, and that seeing that fucking destroyed me. Like that was. I can handle graphic shit. I can handle graphic shit and eat and not, I'm fine. But like that completely destroyed me. We call ourselves the land of the fucking free and the home of the brave. How brave do you have to be to help us, knowing at some point we will fucking leave? Like that's braver than I'll ever be. That's braver than I'll ever be. Period. And. It's not just on the U.S.'s hands what's going on with these people. This was a global effort. I've worked with Swedish, Norwegian, I hate to say it, German. Like, I've worked with a lot of foreign forces. I worked with English forces. The SAS dudes always had fucking Guinness. I love them. That's my favorite beer. I've worked with a lot of foreign people on this, and it's not just a U.S. issue. The entire planet is responsible for checking in on the entire planet. We initially went to this country because they flew planes into our fucking towers and we wanted to get the people responsible for it. That's why we went. And then midway through, we said we were going to instill our idea of democracy on them. And then we've known for about a month now that Taliban's been taken over, and we've done nothing to help the people that have helped us. There's so many people that helped us in so many ways. like my job was psychological operations. Like I would go and bribe people. Basically, I'd build I would go and get backpacks to kids for school supplies or humanitarian aid or food or this or that. Get intel on really bad guys. Go roll them up, capture them, turn them to their government, or let their family bury them. And get on the radio and say, "Hey, asshole over here blew up 10 kids, 8 women last month. We killed him and built a school to try to slow down bad guy activity. Who are your friends?" You know what I mean? We tried our best to help people through humanitarian aid, through getting rid of their asshole neighbors. And just to leave like this is fucking insane to me. They deserve so much better. Like there's really good people in this country. It's not only informants that have helped us. There's then people on all these bases as cooks, as cleaners, as mechanics, as all these fucking jobs. You could have been a dude pumping gas for us just because you couldn't find any other way to give fucking food to your family. And then you're gonna get beheaded for it, and your family's gonna die just for helping us with that when you're just trying to help your family. And now we're just pulling out. And it's insane to me that we're just leaving them so fucked like that. We really fucked up big. Our government, the shot callers, whoever did this shit, deserves a boot up their fucking ass and to be fired. Period. That's unacceptable.
And for all
unacceptable.
And for all the Republicans who are acting like, well, we did our part, we're out of here, la da da. Well, no, I think we should bring them all here, and they should go to all these Republican states in mass. And if the Republicans don't like it, they can fucking leave. Don't like it here, you can fucking leave. Why don't you go live in Afghanistan if you think having the Afghani refugees is so bad? You don't like it? If you like that, that's just, if I was president shit. I would bring them all
that's
here.
the idea that our country was founded on. To say you don't want them here after their assistance helping us fight them for attacking us is insane. It's the most un-American mindset I've ever fucking heard of. It's insane.
America is the biggest refugee camp in the fucking world.
It's supposed to be, but we're just a bunch of bigots pretending like we are at this point. We started that way, and we've fallen quite a ways short since then.
Mm-hmm.
Missed the mark, right?
Yeah, I also think that it's important to point out the fact that there are so many innocent people that will be affected by us pulling out. Girls who learn to read, or that know nothing else but a world where they're allowed to read, and now all of a sudden that's a crime. They're not allowed to go to school anymore.
The Afghani girls robotics team is trying to get refuge in Canada because they're no longer going to be able to practice science.
That's fucking mental, isn't it? That's just fucking mental.
So there are, as I said earlier, there are people that have lived in some sort of freedom as well under this conflict, who will no longer have those freedoms that they have had, and they will suffer for taking advantage of those freedom during the last 20 years of conflict. So this is such a huge question who affects so many of the locals in Afghanistan. It's the fact that they're being sort of left to fend for themselves is horrendous. It's horrific, and sitting outside thinking that you can ride to freedom outside on an airplane talks something to the desperation you must feel to get the fuck out of there. Like, if you had any rational thought left in your head, you would never think, "Hey, I'm Tom Cruise, and somebody will open the door mid-air so I can climb in." It's desperation and pure fucking and fear at its just purest.
It's not only that; it's seeing scenes of people handing their babies over barbed wire fences to American forces to save them. Like, just as a dad, to the thought of handing Florence or Sienna over a fence because they're
gonna
better off
live.
there. Yeah. I'm not going to cry on that on air again. But just the thought of it, How do we fuck this up so bad?
And it's very historical as well. Like it goes so many layers back. Like should we have, created the corporate operations with
The Mujahideen.
back with the CIA. Like should we have been there back then? Should we have supported them, the Taliban, which is basically created by the CIA during the war against the Soviets, right? Like, should we have been there then? Should we have done all of these things since?
Should we have given them millions of dollars worth of guns?
Yeah,
and then left.
And then when they sort of thought that America is going to be there and fend for them in the end, America went like, we know nothing, covert operations, and they just tossed it in a vault and just fucked off. But that happened. Then this happened, then this happened. Right now, we're in a situation that we cannot change the past. What has happened has happened. We cannot change it. What do we do now to be better than those who came before us? That's the real question.
Yeah. So let's just do a round table on it. What do we do, like in our individual opinions? What do we do to mitigate any kind of blowback from this? Because it's a massive thing. It's a massive thing.
I am fully on board with bringing him here. Bring him here.
Yeah.
And
that's all you can do.
Say again, KP?
Yeah. If our no, go ahead. I think Brian was talking first.
I'm totally in agreement with Mikey. It's like there's only one thing that we can do, and really just like help out whoever we can. Bringing them here, distribute them to other countries that will take them. We now need the humanitarian part of what we're supposed to be doing. That's definitely what we need. The next is humanitarian.
But also
the way Jesus would have wanted it.
Oh God! You had to bring Jeebus into it.
The baby Jeebus.
Sweet baby Jesus. Little
baby Jesus.
Bill Foster is my congressperson here in Illinois. I'm in his Twitter DMs because I want some legislation brought up so that they can allocate some funds to go get them, or to at least pay for them getting somewhere else.
Yep.
If we have all this, like if we're saving all this money because they're not having to fucking have all these fobs out there, and you're pulling all the people back home, then you have some extra funds. Use those funds to get those people out of there, bring our people home. We can do both at this. We can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the things that these Western powers need to own. They need to say, yeah, do you know what? We fucked up, and deal with it. If there's, I mean, you've seen the pictures of that military aircraft where everyone's just sat on the floor. It's like a transporter, and it's just hundreds of people. Yeah, just hundreds of people just sat on.
Right.
Sorry.
600? Was it 600 people that were stuffed in there?
Yeah. And it's like, that's what we should be doing, because we've gone in there, we've used their facilities, we've used their land, we've used their resources, i.e. their human resources. We should be looking after these people, because like if someone come in your house and started fucking shit up, but there's someone in your building and you gave them information, said, yeah, that's the geezer who's causing the shit, but as soon as they get rid of him, their family's going to come get you. Well, yeah, they should rehouse you. That's it. Simple.
Simple enough. Final thoughts there, Jartan, and then we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would like to live in a world where that was possible, but my thoughts are still with those people who never supported or did anything, but the parents that just, let their girls go to school over the last 20 years to learn how to read and now will be whipped for it. They will never be granted asylum. They will never be, they will just disappear. They will just be a hole in the
Mhm.
ground.
Yeah.
The guy who sold coffee or who really didn't do anything but live in the world that was presented to him over the last 20 years, or the women who did that, or the children.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like, how are we going to lift half the country out of there? It's
Mm.
I don't know. I'm gutted. I'm saddened, and unfortunately, I'm not smart enough to have a solution to this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody is, but
Mm.
talk to your Congress people, everybody. They all have Twitter handles. They all have DMs. They all have phone numbers posted on their websites. Yes,
I
Wayne.
haven't got a Congress. I haven't got a congressperson.
Well, that's because you don't live in a country, Wayne. You live on an
Contact
island.
Parliament, then, motherfucker.
Yeah, talk to your MPs. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I'll speak to my local councillor, Craig Rimmer. He's a lovely man. Got me garden, so we didn't he?
Except for the cat shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On you.
So traditionally, I don't know if we're gonna continue doing after shows, but probably not gonna be an after show today. We love hanging out with you guys, but I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. It's just it's just one of those things where it's just usually just the four of us just like shooting the shit and being annoying. So we're gonna save that time. Maybe we'll do that for patrons. We'll do after shows for patrons. So again, go to patreon.com/TheBinPodcast, and we'll start sending out links for like the after parties and shit like that. But I think we're just about wrapped here. Any final thoughts before I close this out?
Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Tell me what to do.
Don't do drugs. Send them to me.
So he can send them to me. No, he. Because I have this disposal thingy that I just started
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
He's got a
Yeah.
bonfire up.
Crematorium.
Notice that
Drug
I
crematorium.
exonerated myself from all of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And love you guys. Hey.
Love you.
Aw.
Love
Thank
you,
you
man.
guys
I
for
love
having
you
me today.
too.
Yeah, don't
Thank
go
you,
anywhere,
Kate.
KP.
Yeah, no,
Thank you,
I might
intern.
have to use the bathroom for a minute, but then I'll be right back after.
KP, thank you for being our guest. Your fee has been sent to you via Apple Pay. 1 case of Guinness via the Bin Podcast. And he's
My
also
fee?
and he's also been he's also asked for pet pictures from us at the Bin. So make sure you guys
Yes.
follow him on Instagram or through Facebook. He's going to need pictures of all of our pets. Wayne, you don't
I
have
would
any
really
pets,
enjoy
so
that.
just
I
find
can't even
some.
tell you.
Just find some on the internet and lie. Just name the dog whatever you like.
Yes.
Yeah. Get a
have-
squirrel or
Mittens,
something.
and then send me pictures. I
Oh.
would love that.
What do you have?
Yeah.
You're in
have-
England. You have a swan or something, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I got a picture of a deer roadkill.
All right. So here's the deal. I got a dog,
Who
5
hurt you?
cats, and 2 rats.
I didn't know you had
Nice,
rats.
I love rats. They're very cool animals.
That's who taught Shartan how to cook, and then Disney stole the idea and made a movie out of it.
It's called Mickey.
I fucking hate you. And on that bombshell, back to the fucking studio. We're out of here. I'm not taking this shit. Swish wash room. Take this shit no more.
What's up?
Oh, God.
Fuck that guy.